Hi everyone, I'm back again, this time to go over the week 7 introduction of remote distance learning. Again, I hope you're doing well and you were able to get outside and enjoy some of the sunshine as we start to actually wind down on content and just our distance learning in class for the year actually. So, a quick overview of things we're going to do this week, and then just a few reminders on important pieces of information that I had already touched on the last video. I'll just reiterate once again in case there were any questions or confusion. So, this week is our last week of new content, actually. We're starting what's called hypothesis testing, which is a more intricate and complex way of applying statistics to situations. This is more of the collegiate level statistics than what we had been doing, which tree diagrams and whatnot are typically considered high school level statistics still. So you're starting out on Monday with what we are coining an introduction to hypothesis testing. There are some pretty complex and sophisticated tests that we're not going to get to this year, but we are going to just touch on a little bit and build up to what's called a p-value. So I'd like you to start with a quick discussion and then run through the Google Doc that's attached in the content called Coin Toss Simulation, or that assignment. Make sure you respond or you post in the discussion and then submit the coin toss simulation. So this is to introduce hypothesis testing, kind of get an idea of what it's about. And then on Wednesday, you have what's called the Murdering Nurse. It is a scenario or a case study of sorts, a mini case study, where you're going to go through a reading and then submit some questions in response to what you read. The reading's about 9 pages. That's going to take up a majority of the time this week. Just take the time to read through it. I think it should be pretty interesting. I thought it was interesting at least. So hopefully you find some engagement in that. So after that, only 4 topics this week. Again, we're winding down. So moving on to the other pieces of information, as you've probably already heard, the 22nd of May, a week from this coming Friday, is the last day of classes or content for seniors. Beyond that, this week is just makeup. We technically don't have school on the 25th, but during this time, I'm not going to assign any additional content, and in senior classes, that should not be happening. So, like I've mentioned though, we have 2 weeks left, but this week, from the 11th to the 15th, is content, which you see in front of you right now, and then the 18th to the 22nd, I'm just going to post probably one final reflection, and when I say final, I don't mean as in replacing a final exam, I just mean as something to kind of put everything together that we've done this year. You'll have the choice of what you look at and what you reflect on that we've worked through this entire year. Just more of a role in statistics in how your views may have changed as we go through. After that, seniors graduation, 29th. I have volunteered for that, so I hope I'll see you there. And I think that's about it that we have. So next week, look for one more introduction. If you are a little behind in getting content turned in, again, there's no penalty for doing that, but make sure you do try and stay on top of things and get caught up so it's not this giant amount of work you have to do all at once. I think everyone, for the most part, is in a good place on that, though, and I do appreciate that, and I recognize that you are putting effort into this class. So that will wrap it up for this week. I hope you enjoy the content this week. I think it's a nice way to kind of decline and ease into the end of the year. We'll keep in touch.